In this video, I will talk about these color palettes that you can find below the left toolbar in Adobe Photoshop. We will go through their functionality and some shortcuts related to them. This information is a must-have for all Photoshop users. So without any delay, let's get started. Create a new file in Photoshop. You can select any options here, click Create. Now focusing on this area, you will see four things. Number one, this upper palette. This is the foreground color. This lower palette. This is the background color. Then you will see this icon here with double arrows. This is used to toggle colors between foreground and background. If you click it, it will toggle the colors between foreground and background. Then there is this icon, like two color palettes here. And if you click it, it will bring the colors back to default. For example, if I change the colors, and now I want to go back to the default colors, I'll click this icon here. We will see the details and shortcuts of these things in a moment. I want to show you guys two shortcuts first. The first one is related to this color toggle. To toggle the colors between these palettes, you can either click on this icon or you can press X from your keyboard. The next shortcut I want to show you is related to this default color icon. Let's again select different colors. Now to bring this back to default, either you can press this icon or you can press D from your keyboard. This will bring the colors back to default. Now I hope you get these two shortcuts. Now let's move on, and I'd like to show you two more things. Before we move forward, let's just unlock this layer by pressing this lock icon. And let me again change the colors of these palettes to something else. Now I want to show you two more shortcuts. The number one, if you want to apply the foreground color onto the canvas, or if there is a selection made here, the color will go into that selection. We will see that in a moment. The shortcut is you will press Alt backspace, or it will be Option backspace for Mac users. And if you want to apply the background color on a layer or in a selection, you will press Control backspace. That will be Command backspace for Mac users. Now let's see what if there is a selection made on the layer. Let's make a simple selection here. This is a simple selection. Maybe for your projects you will need to make complex selections, but they will work in the same way. So now what happens if I try to apply the foreground color into this layer? So I will press Alt backspace or Option backspace. Now the color will only apply to that particular area where we have made the selection. Same principle applies if I want to apply the background color, the foreground, background. I hope you got these four shortcuts, and let me just rephrase these for you. To toggle the colors between foreground and background, you will press X. To bring these palettes to the default, you will press D. And to apply the foreground color onto the layer or selection, we will press Alt or Option backspace. And to apply the background color on the canvas or the selection, we will press Control or Command backspace. Now let's talk about selecting the colors in these palettes. There are a few ways to do this. Number one, you can click on any of these palettes and a pop-up will appear. You can select the color manually. The second way is through the swatches panel. If you can't see the swatches panel here, what you can do is to go to Window and click on Swatches. If it didn't show up, again go to Window and click on Swatches. It will show up somewhere here. Now if you click on any color here, it will show up in the foreground color. And to apply any color to the background palette, what you will do, you will select the color and then press X to toggle the colors between foreground and background, and the color is in the background now. The third way of doing so is through the color picker tool. You can select the color picker tool here, or you can press its shortcut I. Let me just bring in some image here. If you want to pick any color from an image, like I like to pick this red color, click it and it will get selected in the foreground palette. What if you want to pick the color for the background palette? For example, if I want to pick this blue color in the background palette, or let's just say this yellow color, press and hold Alt or Option for Mac users and click on any color. It will get selected in the background color. So these are the three ways of selecting color in these color palettes. The number one was just click and select the color manually. The number two was through this swatches panel, and the number three was through this color picker tool. There is one more thing I like to show you. By using this color picker tool, you can actually pick the colors from outside this Photoshop window. For example, if you have opened an image outside Photoshop, or if you are on a web page and you like to pick colors directly from there, you can do that by using this color picker tool. I have demonstrated this use of color picker tool along with the other options of the color picker in another completely new video. You can find a link to that video above here or below in the description. Now coming back to our topic here. Whenever you think you are messed up with these color palettes, or for some other reasons you want to shift them back to default, you know what to do. Just hit D from your keyboard and the colors will be set back to default. That's it for this video, guys. I hope you liked it and you have learned something new. If so, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button below this video, and for it's free, click that red subscribe button and hit the bell, my friend. It will help us both. It will motivate me to make new videos, and it will help you learn new skills by watching those videos. And by the action you just did, YouTube will make sure it happens. See you guys in another video of mine. Until then, take care, practice Photoshop, and goodbye.